Well, it's been nearly 2 months since a large dead sea lion was first discovered along a Campbell River shoreline. The mammal had been shot and beheaded. Officers from the Department of Fisheries and Oceans investigated the discovery, but ever since, the mammal has remained on the beach, decaying. CTV's Gord Kurbis has more.
Campbell River's Tyee Spit is the perfect spot for taking in some sights, doing some dog walking, bird watching, or beachcombing. But today, there is something in the air here that is not quite right.
It's not pleasant to walk up on it, and that someone or a few people should come and haul it back into the water.
A stench has started to emanate off the remains of a large stellar sea lion that has been here for nearly 2 months.
I think it would be probably wise to have it hauled out to just off the shore and even cut it up a little and let it sink into the sea and go back to nature.
The sea lion was a few hundred meters up the shoreline but was shifted by ocean tides to its new resting spot. Some believe it's now time for a government agency to step up and remove it completely. The Department of Fisheries and Oceans says this mammal, or what's left of it, is definitely Campbell River's responsibility. That's because it's on the city's shorelines. If it was still in the water and creating perhaps a navigational problem, the agency would get back involved. The only other thing that would get DFO back involved is if this was considered a public hazard. Terri Martin is a biologist who's the environmental coordinator for the city of Campbell River. Martin says the city is taking the approach that nature, particularly local birds, will look after the sea lion.
It's an important part of the food chain. Birds depend on them. This is something that naturally does happen. Dead animals wash up on the beach. So as it decomposes, it feeds many other things, from things in the ocean to things in the air.
DFO did move in once before along the shorelines of East Souk Park. That's when a dead juvenile gray whale was being poked at. Some of its flesh was removed, and people were putting their hands into the whale's mouth. None of that is happening here, but there is that stench.
I know they're a little bit stinky, and some people don't particularly like to see dead wildlife. But on the other hand, if it's not causing a safety hazard or there's no human health concerns, we really do try to encourage people to just enjoy the process of nature.
Unless the tides come in to move the mammal again, it looks like the remains will remain here for some time to come. Gord Kurbis, CTV News, Campbell River.